Hi students, good morning. Welcome back to the another online biology session, Anand Medical Academy. In the journey of structural organization in animals, we have finished the two important tissues. One is epithelial, another one is connective. Now the time to discuss about animal tissue called muscular tissue. In the portion of animal tissues, we finished the first one is epithelial tissue. Second one is connective tissue or connective proper tissue. Now we are discussing muscular tissue. Muscular tissue. Later session we will go through nervous tissue. Let us go through the muscular tissue in this session. Simply it is called muscle. In animals, there are three types of muscles are present. Number one is skeletal muscle. Number two is smooth muscle. And number three is cardiac muscle. These are the three different types of tissues exist in animals in various organs and parts. If we compare some characteristics among all the three, we will easily come to know similarities and dissimilarities. Let us see now that one. If we observe some features like shape, branching, number of nucleus and nucleus position, control, striation and some other. Let us see the first six features among the three, where in characters all the three are similar, where one is different with other. Firstly, shape. Generally a skeletal muscle which connected with the bone. There is no doubt. This is the skeletal muscle. These skeletal muscles are generally cylindrical in nature, compactly arranged without any branches. So when we talk about the shape, the skeletal muscle is cylindrical shape. Whereas the smooth muscles, if you see, they have tapered ends even though they are cylindrical. That's why it would be called as fusiform shape. Fusiform, then this is also called spindle shape. S shape means their ends are tapered. If you see at the center, it is cylindrical, but their ends are very sharp, called tapered ends. Tapered ends are present. This is what the shape when we talk about the smooth muscle. Now cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscles are also cylindrical. Often they have some kind of branches which connect each other. Shape of cardiac muscle is also cylindrical. So this is the first character I have compared with all the three, that is shape. When we talk about the branching is here absent. Here also branching is absent, whereas branching is present. Branching is existing or exist. So cells which have a branches one with another is a characteristic feature of the cardiac muscles only. Let us observe the third character, that is number of nucleus. If you see, one cell of a skeletal muscle consists of many nucleus. So that's why this character is called multinucleated. Multinucleated. One cell has one nucleus. That condition is called uninucleated. If one cell have a 2 nucleus, then the condition is called binucleated. More than 3 or 4, many are there, then such a condition of a nucleus is called multinucleated. Scientifically, it has a specific term, is called syncytium. This term will come in your further lessons, so that you must understand the meaning of this, called syncytium or syncytial. What is syncytium? It is a state in which one cell consists of more than 2 nucleus is the condition. So whereas that syncytium is absent in smooth and cardiac muscle, syncytium is an important feature that you cannot find any other cell in the muscles, is only belongs to skeletal muscle. If we observe the number of nucleus in the smooth muscle, if it is one smooth muscle, it has only one nucleus. One smooth muscle has only one nucleus means the characteristic feature would be uninucleated. Uninucleated. Uninucleated means what? One cell is equal to one nucleus is the condition. Clear? The same feature if we compare the cardiac muscle. In cardiac muscle also number of nucleus is only one per one cell. So that's why this is uninucleated. Number of nucleus is the feature in that cardiac muscle is similar to smooth muscle. Shape is the feature, then cardiac muscle is similar to skeletal muscle. Let us see another character, that is the position of nucleus. Here I have mentioned multinucleated, that is according to the number. According to the number, so many nucleus are there in each cell of the skeletal muscle. Such a condition is called syncytium, but all these are not present at the center. All they are present at the corner. That's why the character is called peripheral. So many times I have used this term, peri, around, or sides or corners. Many nucleus are present, they all are at the corner, not center like this. Whereas if you observe the character in smooth muscle, there it is, nucleus is at central. So that central nuclei. Number of nucleus is single, that too that is present at the center. This is the character here. Understand? So let us see how many nucleus are there and what is the position in case of cardiac muscle. In cardiac muscle also one cell has one nucleus, so the condition is called uninucleated, and that is also present at the central. So that central nuclei. Central nucleus, central nucleus. Nuclei means plural. So as it is present only one, you have to write central nucleus. Nuclei means plural. As they have a one nucleus per one cell, we should not use the plural term for nucleus. Now another character is control. Do you think the skeletal muscle is controlled? Obviously by central nervous system. So it is voluntary in action. Their actions are controlled by CNS. CNS means what? Central nervous system. Without the permission of brain or spinal cord, no skeletal muscle starts its work. So that we can call it is controlled by central nervous system. That's why it is called voluntary in function. Whereas the same feature, let us see in the other two types of muscles in animals. Smooth muscle is mostly involuntary. 99% of their occurrences, where does they are existing, all are involuntary. Means doesn't controlled by central nervous system. They do not need actions or signals of nervous system, but autonomous nervous system can be regulated. That is called ANS. Autonomous nervous system operates, but these muscles can operate themselves by their signals, not by central nervous system, only autonomous nervous system. That is the reason they are called involuntary. Few exceptions are there, like some smooth muscles present at our eyeball. Okay, so during some conditions they are voluntary. Suppose If you want to observe an object from a longer distance, we have to constrict our eyes, means expel our eyeballs like this, means it is a voluntary. When we think we want to see, then only we can do that action. So such condition is called voluntary. Actions which are controlled by central nervous system are called voluntary. Actions that are doesn't controlled by central nervous systems are called involuntary. If the question comes, does the smooth muscles actions are voluntary or involuntary? Answer is no doubt involuntary. Why? Mostly they are involuntary. So the generally question is involuntary. But conditionally, if they mention some places like upper part of the esophagus, okay, as well as muscles around the eyeball, these are conditional involuntaries. That is obviously exceptional case. The same feature if we observe here in the cardiac muscles are not mostly, they are involuntary. Heart doesn't need the permission of central nervous system. That's why a person who is in coma, brain dead, but heart will be beat. The persons who is in the coma can survive, but their brain doesn't work, but heart functions are ever. If heart functions are stopped, that is called heart death, and heart death leads to brain death, but brain death may not leads to heart death. That's why heart functions are controlled by their own autorhythmic system. That's why they are called involuntary, but they are regulated by autonomous nervous system. Means sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems are increase and decrease their actions. That's why heartbeat will increase or decrease by the controlling of autonomous nervous system, but initiation of heartbeats are involuntary. Central nervous system doesn't have any kind of role in the operation of the cardiac muscles called heart. So these are the 5 characteristics we have seen. Now the last one is striation. Striation means what? Lines. Does they have any cross lines? Are also called strippings. Let us see. Yes. If you see the skeletal muscle, it has a lot of lines. That's why it is called stripped muscle. It is called stripped muscle or striated muscles. So let us discuss what are the striations present in the skeletal muscle after some time. Smooth muscles, if you see, smooth muscles doesn't have any strips. That's why it is called unstripped muscle. And cardiac muscle is stripped muscle. It is also having some kinds of strips that helps in contractions and relaxations. That's why it is called stripped muscles. So as we have discussed the 6 characteristics, when questions are coming with some combinations, students should very keenly observe and answer. Suppose I will give you some examples. The muscle which is stripped and voluntary and cylindrical. Answer is skeletal muscle. The same combinations if a bit changed, stripped, involuntary and cylindrical. That is why answer is cardiac. Stripped voluntary means skeletal. Stripped involuntary means cardiac. Involuntary non-stripped means smooth muscles. Of course, by the shape also we can recognize some combinations of characters will be mentioned to know some, and they jumbled the options and can use it to confuse by giving some twists in the combinations of this kind of questions. So one should understand what exactly they are demanding, then just give an output from your knowledge. Easily you can observe the answer among the 4. Easy questions only where students generally do mistakes. In that, this is one of the scenario. So without let us see more than 6 characteristics that are similar or dissimilar with all the 3 now. In extension of the same topic, when we go through the 7th character, that is number of mitochondria. You know very well, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, where generally ATPs are generating and that produces energy in animals, and that helps to so many activities, metabolic activities as well as some movements also. So such type of mitochondria in skeletal muscle, they are present about 5 to 10 per cell, whereas in smooth muscles their number is also greater than 10, but in cardiac muscle their number is greater than 30. Why? Because it is autorhythmic. Always they have to contract and relaxes. So abundant number of mitochondria present in the cardiac muscle. Next character, that is the proteins present in different types of muscles. In skeletal muscles, actin, myosin, troponin, tropomyosin, dystrophin, elastin, phosphocreatine, like so many proteins were present, but actin and myosin together are called contractile proteins. Contractile proteins. They help in muscle contraction and relaxation, whereas tropin and tropomyosin together called regulatory proteins. Regulatory proteins. Dystrophin, elastin and phosphocreatine, all these are accessory proteins. That phosphocreatine helps to formation of ATP, nothing but they add phosphate molecules to ADP and form ATP. ATP is required for muscle contraction. And dystrophin and elastins are some kind of supportive proteins. Supportive proteins. The most abundant element in case of any muscle is calcium. Second one is magnesium. Magnesium is the element which is so important for the formation or structural units construction of the muscle, whereas such units need to function, then needable element is calcium. So calcium is most abundant functional element, magnesium is abundant structural element. So generally question comes, calcium is first, magnesium is second. Now in case of a smooth muscle, all these were present, but apart from that, calmodulin is a special protein that exists only in smooth muscles, whereas here cardin is a special protein along with all. Understand? Let us see another character, locations. Where does these three different types of muscles are exist? As I have given idea in the very first, skeletal muscles are they exist along with the bones by the help of tendons. By the help of tendons, these skeletal muscles are connected to the bones. So what is tendon? Tendon is dense regular connective tissue. Of course, where does the smooth muscles are existing? The smooth muscles which are spindle shaped and they are existing in internal organs. Internal organs are also called visceral organs, just like esophagus, stomach, intestine, both small intestine and large intestine, and also peritoneum. Peritoneum means abdominal wall, and eyeball muscles, buccal cavity, cheeks, so many internal organs.
Here you can find two different types of smooth muscles. One is multi-unit, another one is single unit. In multi-unit smooth muscles, every smooth muscle has their taper ends very clearly. These types are located in iris of the eye, trachea, and also in some blood vessels. Whereas single unit smooth muscles are present in urinary bladder and some internal organs like gastrointestinal tract. But in single unit smooth cells, taper ends are formed by together.
Some other organs also, these smooth muscles are present. Where does they are present? Their main function is involuntary. Cardiac muscles are present and heart. Heart muscles are also called cardiac muscles, they are specialized muscles because they have intercalated discs. Means between the cells, they are kind of a cell junctions. Already we have discussed about the cell junctions in epithelial tissue. There are tight junctions, gap junctions and adherence junctions. Apart from all the three, intercalated junctions or discs are present. They are characteristic feature of only cardiac muscles. Those three junctions are characteristic feature of epithelial tissue. Okay, because of the intercalated discs, they act as a cell junctions. N number of contractions and relaxations are also continuously 24/7 appear in the cardiac muscles. They never be panic or fatigue. If we
Observe the cardiac muscle clearly. Cardiac muscles are cylindrical, intact, and they have intercalated discs. They are sectionized. Myofibrils are branched. Nucleus is single. Mitochondria is
talk about
numerous.
the other important property, that is the 10th one, is called fatigue. Fatigue means what? Tiredness. When or where, how long these muscles can be stretched and how long they lose their potentiality so that they will become weak or fatigue means tired. Cardiac muscles will never be fatigued. Never fatigue means they never tired. From 28th day after fertilization in our mother's womb, even when we are not born, when we are developed in our mother's womb during pregnancy, that time heartbeat starts. So till the death the heartbeat continues. There will never be fatigue. Reason, n number of mitochondria. Undoubtedly so much of ATP sources are existing in the cardiac muscles. And smooth muscles are also have least fatigue. They are least fatigue means they will be fatigue, but rate is very least. Most fatigue, they are most fatigued. Most fatigue means they quickly tired. So when we write, we will have some pain in the wrist or hand. Why? Because these muscles will be under the fatigue. When we walk, when we run, when we jump, so muscle sprains will become. Sprain is a character of muscle. Fatigue is a character of muscle. Contraction is a character of muscle. The time of a muscle contraction we will recall all these things. But in this session I have explained all the different types of muscles with different types of characters, where they have similarity with one and where they are against to other one. I hope you understand, guys. Please go through the session again and attain assignment. In the next class we will discuss about structure of skeletal muscle properly. Thank you.